Hey guys, it's Assata and I'm going to be doing a Dehancer tutorial using iPhone photos. I know not everyone has access to bigger cameras, film cameras, DSLRs, mirrorless cameras, all that good stuff. So I wanted to do something different and do an editing tutorial on my MacBook and using iPhone photos. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. And if you're interested in video tutorials, I actually made one with Dehancer before in the past and you guys seem to love it. So with that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so we're in Dehancer and I imported my JPEG, so it has to be JPEG format. And some of these photos I'm not going to be posting or using, but this is what the film strip looks like. I like how it says film strip. It gives it that authentic film vibe. This one right here is really cute. So I'm going to start with this one as my main photo. And what I'm going to do is make this tutorial very simple, very easy. On this side, we have our film presets and our snapshots. So with our film presets, what I'm going to do is go to all films, by name, and select preset. And it's going to show me every single preset that they have in here, which I think is absolutely amazing. But if I only wanted black and white, I can go down here and go to black and white. If I wanted cross, color negative, motion picture, instance, they have it all, like literally. So I think I want to do let's do all of them so I can kind of get a vibe for everything. So for some odd reason, anything with greens in it, it makes me feel happy. It gives it that more cinematic tone. So Fujifilm Velvia 100 and Fuji Relia 500D are some really good ones for that. And this is what it looks like fully applied to this one. Now I do go off of the vibe that I'm going for. And also I go off of the tones that's already naturally in the photo. But as I'm just playing around, I'm just going to find something that is kind of speaking to me, and we can definitely adjust each one of these presets as well. Ooh, this one's cute. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. And then we're going to go all the way up. Now you can crop on this side. So I want to do something that's like 4x5, but I'm going to flip it for Instagram. You know, it's 4x5. So we're going to flip it to 4x5 and we're just going to crop down. I want to make sure to get this area outside of it. And you know, I can edit it in another program, but I just want to get that out of it. And I want to make sure the bookcase is definitely there. So I'm just going to press enter. And then this is what the photo is looking like so far. So the exposure, to be honest with y'all, I've been doing this like editing thing all my life, it seems like. So I kind of see what needs to happen and how I like my photos, but you may be very different. So you can definitely change the temperature, you can change the temp, all this good stuff. And what is really cool is that you can push and pull. Pushing and pulling basically, you know, darkens and lightens your image, or whenever you are developing film, which I use to develop film, it will make the image brighter or darker as well whenever you're developing. So that's a really cool tip. I personally am not a fan of huge film grains, so I'm just scrolling down and I'm going to actually change this to like a 35-50. And then our halation is on as well. This is what it looks like without halation on. It just blooms out everything and makes it super freaking cute. So I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit in this image as well. And then bloom is on. This is what it looks like without bloom. This is what it looks like with bloom. And you can definitely customize that to your liking. I noticed that the smaller numbers, they tend to add more of the effect, like with the millimeters. So just keep that in mind as you are editing your own specific image. Now vignetting, I just use vignetting whenever it comes down to if I want you to focus more so on what's going on in the middle of the frame. So I kind of want it to be a little bit more vignette. And I'm gonna get it like right there. And then I'm just going to go back to film grain. Let's do 250. Cool. Now, color heads are really cool. I like to fidget with like the actual image colors a lot because it really does change the vibe. So with me dropping the yellow blues, you guys see it's like a huge difference, right? It's a huge difference. And like I told you earlier, I like mine to have a little bit more green. And then you can also change this as well. So I'm gonna put it right there. And then this is also going to affect like my skin tone. So just bear that in mind if you are melanated, that it will affect your skin tone. Or if you're not, it's still going to affect your skin tone. So, and then we have print. I love to mess with this. And usually when I'm editing my video, I put it on Kodak 238. Okay, and then we have Target whites, which I don't like it when the whites are like super white unless I'm going for like that aesthetic. But I guess we'll do it today to kind of whiten up the background. And tonal density, I'm going to take my contrast a little bit down, just a smidge. I mean, and then color, I like the fact that the color is in my skin. I think it's super cute, but I'm also going to take this. No, I'm not. I lied. So yeah, let me see if I actually like this photo. I kind of like to take a, you know, step back, and to me it's just a lot of contrast going on here. There we go. So here in my black point, if I pull it up, you guys see that my blacks are crushed. Some people like that, you know, some people do like that. Drop it down. There we go, into my white point. Okay, so we're back down here. I think I want to take a little bit of contrast out. Okay, so also I think what I want to do with the color head is kind of see what it'll look like if I kind of fade it out a little bit. So this is if I fade it out for impact all the way, and this is what it on full blast, but you never want to do anything on full blast. Another neat thing is that you can do film damage, and I'm just going to cut that on, and it's just going to add like little particles and stuff like that into your image. As you guys can see around this area, it's adding like the particles around here and all over the screen, but we really don't need too much, to be quite honest. And you can also change how much you want. So if I wanted more scratches, you can do more scratches, make it look more vintagey, like it was actually developed in a lab. So if this is kind of like your vibe, you love grain, this is definitely for you, but you can definitely cut this tool on and off. I'm actually trying to see how I like it. I think I'm gonna cut it. Nah, I like the film. I'm sorry, I love film, so I'm gonna keep it on. And that's pretty much it, you guys. The coolest thing about this is that if you actually right click on your mouse and go down here, you can copy your edits, or you can just apply it to film strip, and it'll apply it to all the photos that were in here. As you guys can see, it applied the actual edit to each of the photos, so you don't have to go in each photo if you don't want to and change anything about it. Excuse my back knee, okay? Excuse it. But yeah, this is like the finished look of these photos, and just play around with it, have fun. And if this is something that interests you, make sure to use my code Assata10 to make sure to save you some money, 10% of your actual purchase. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.